Hello everyone, welcome to the Mercury Virtual. Hope you are doing good. Today I'm going to continue with the same module, that is the website designing, and the same chapter or the same module, the same tutorial, that is the HTML tutorial. In the last class we have studied about the chapter number 28, that is 27 and the 28, that is what are the various attributes that is used, what are the various style sheet that is used within the HTML, and also talked about the chapter number 28, that is what are the various HTML tags that is available, that is overview of the various tags of the HTML, that is the HTML tag reference. So let's start what we have covered in the last class with the 28th chapter, and we will going to move with 28th chapter in the today's class also, that is a full-fledged list of the tags that we have studied. So let's start with the previous class session what we have covered in the last class. In the last class we have started with chapter number 28, that is the HTML tag references, that is what are the various HTML tags that is used with the older versions of the HTML or the new versions of the HTML, that is the HTML5. This is the tag and this is the description of the tag. So this is the tag that is used, this specifies a command. So if I want to give the command, that is specified by the HTML, that is the one of the tag of the HTML. Then next is the doc type, that specifies the document types. That means what is the type of the document, or what is the document type, that is the doc type, that specifies the document type, that is also the part of the HTML, also the HTML tag. Then a tag, that specifies the anchor tag. So if I want to specify anchor tag, that is done by the a tag, that is the a for anchor. The next is the ABBR, that is also specifies an abbreviation. So if I want to give the abbreviation, we have to use the tag, that is the ABBR. Then acronym, so this is one of the tag that is also used, that is the acronyms tag, that specifies an acronym that is used. Then the address tag, this specifies the address element, that what is the element of the address or how this element will be used. Then this address, and then applet, that is also used, that it specifies an applet, so the area that selects or specifies an area inside the image map. So if I want to give the area, that is also specified by the area tag. Then this is the article, that separates an article or that specifies an article, and this is the new advancement that is used in the new version, that is the HTML5, that is the article. Then this is a side, that specifies some content loosely related to the page content, and if it is removed, the remaining content still makes sense, that is the a sides. That means if I want to cite the content, that is also cite, but the other content will be removed or will be used as and make the sense, that is the a side. Then audio, that specifies a sound content. So if I want to specify any sound, that is clarified, that is done by the audio, we can say the tag, and this is also the new version of the HTML5. Then this is the B tag, we have studied so many times, that is the bold, that specifies the text as a bold. Then this is the base, that specifies the base URL for all the links in a page. So if I want to specify any URL, that is specified by the base tag. The next tag is the audio tag, that specifies the sound content. So whatever the sound content, if I want to record, that is recorded by the audio tag. Then there is a B tag, that specifies the bold tag. So if I want to make any text as a bold, that is done by the bold tag. Then the base tag, that specifies the base URL. As we have studied, that if I want to combine the relative URL with the base URLs, then we have to combine the, or we have to give the base tag in the header portion in the head tag. So there is a base tag that specifies the base URL for all the links in the page, that is a base tag. And then next is the base front tag, that is depreciated, specifies the base font. So if I want to specify any base font, that means that font is common for each and every one, that is specified within the head tag, that is a base font. Then the BDO, that is the direction of the text or the direction of the tag, that specifies the direction of the text display. So if I want to specify the direction, that is specified by the BDO tag. Then there is a BDI, that represents the text that must be isolated from its surrounding for bidirectional text formatting. So if there is any bidirectional text formatting that is applied by the BDI. And it also allows the embedding a span of text with a different or unknown directionally. That is, if there is an undirectional content that is applied by the BDI. Then the BG sound. So if I want to give any background music while my page is displayed, that is specified by the BG sound, that is the background sound. Then there is a, if I want to specify or if I want to specify the text as a big, that means a large amount of the font that is used, or the big amount of or big font that is used, that specifies a big text, that is a big tag. Then the B blink tag. So if I want a text that is blink when it displays on the web page, that is specified by the B link tag, that means blink tag that specifies the text with the blinks. Then the black quotes, that specifies a long quotation. So if there is a long quotation that is displayed, that is a black quote tag that is used. Then the next is the body tag that specifies the body element. So if there is any body element that is displayed, that is available in the browser window, that is displayed using the body tag. Then the BR tag that inserts a single line break. So if there is a single line break that is inserted by the BR tag. Then next is the button tag that specifies a push button. So if there is a push button that is available, that button is used using the, or that button is specified using the push button. Then the canvas for making the graphics with the script. So if there is any script that is available, that is made by using the graphics, that is done by the graphics, that is known as the canvas tag. Then next is a caption tag that specifies a table caption. So if, and this canvas is one of the new tag that is available in the HTML5. The next is the caption tag that specifies a table caption. That means if I want to give the headings of the, or we can say the heading of a table, that heading will be available, or that heading will be carried out by the caption tag. Then the center tag. So this specifies the center text. So if I want to make any text as a center, in a center, that is done by the center tag. Then the cite tag that specifies the citations. That means if I want to specify any text, any tag, any content as a citation, that is done by the citation tag. Then next is the code tag that specifies the computer code text. If there is any computer code text that is available, that is displayed using the code text. Then next is the col. If I want to specify the columns in the table, that is specified by the col tag. So this specifies the attribute for a columns or the table column, that is a cols. And there is a col group that specifies a group of the table columns. So if I want to specify any group of the table column, that is specified by the col group. So col means simply the column, that is attribute, and the col group means specifies a group of table columns. Then the comment tag that puts a comment in the document. So if there is any comment that is available, that is put it by the comment tag. The next is the data list. That is that there are multiple options for the input value that is displayed, that is done by the, or that is carried out by the data list. Then DD, that is the data description. So that specifies the description or definition description. So if I want to define any list that is available, that is the term, or we can say the definition is displayed by the DD, that is the definition description. Then the del tag. So if I want to delete any text, that means if I want to show that the text is deleted, that's specified by the del tag. Then the DFN, that is the next tag that defines a definition term, that is a DFN. Then the dialog, if I want to specify, or if I want to give the dialog box or a window, that is specified by the dialog tag. So whenever I apply this tag, a dialog box will appear on the screen as the output of the web page. And this is a new version of the HTML5. Then the dir that specifies the directory list. So if I want to specify any directory list, that is a folder list, that is specified by the dir tag. The next is the div tag that specifies a section in a document. So if I want to specify any section in a document, that is specified by the div tag. Then the dl tag that specifies the definition list. Sorry, dl tag, not di. This is a dl tag that specifies the definition list, that is the dl tag. Then dt that specifies the definition term, that is a dt tag. Then the em that specifies emphasis or emphasize text, that is the em tag that is used. Then the embed tag that specifies a container for an external or non-HTML application, that is the embed tag. So if there is an embed tag that is used, that is specified by the embed, that is a non-HTML application. This is one of the new features that is available within the HTML5, that is the embed tag that specifies the container for an external that is a non-HTML application. The next is a field set that specifies a field set. So if there is a field set that is shown, that is specified by the field set attribute or the tag. And this is the figure captions. If I want to explain any figure caption, that means if I want to give the heading of the figure, that means we can say the top of the figure there is a option that is available, or we can say the text that is available, that is specified by the caption tag, or that is specified by the figure caption, that is FIG caption, that is a fig caption. And this was one of the new feature that is available in the HTML5. The next is a figure tag that specifies the self-centered content. In the same way, these are the various tags that is available. One is the font tag that specifies what is the font size and the color. That means what is the font type, what is the font size, and what is the color of the font. The next is the footer tag that specifies the footer for a document or a section. That means what is the footer of the document. That means what is displayed below the document, that is a footer. So that specifies a footer for a document or a section. Then next is the form tag that specifies a form. So if there is a form tag, if I want to design a form that is used, that is designed by the form tag, that is designed by the that is displayed by the form tag. So this specifies a form. Then the frame that specifies a sub window. So if I want to specify any sub window, that means dividing the main browser window into the multiple part, that is specified by the frame tag. And each frame consists of the different HTML document. That means each frame has a different HTML document. Suppose I divide my browser window into 3 parts, 3 frames, and each part containing one HTML document, that is known as the frame. And the frame set is used to define the HTML document. So next tag that is used, that is the frame set tag. So this specifies a set of the frames. That is what is a frame and what is the set of the frames. The next is from H1 to the H6, that is from the headings that is used, that is from the specify the header from the 1 to the 6. The next is the head tag that specifies the information about the document. So if we want to display any document, if we want to display any data that is used, that is specified by the head tag. And this is a header tag. So this is a difference between the head and the header, and header is one of the new features that is available within the HTML5. So this specifies the header for a document or a section. Then there is a HR tag that specifies horizontal rules. So if I want to design any line and any data or any line that is mentioned, that is specified by the HR tag, that is horizontal line. So horizontal line is available with the use of the HR tag. Then next is the HTML tag that specifies the HTML document. That is what is the HTML document, how it is used, that is the HTML document. So next is the HTML document that is used for the HTML document, that is the HTML tag. So if this is the, we can say, the main tag that is used. So if I want to explain, or if I want to use the HTML tag, that means this is the starting tag, this is the first tag that is used with the HTML coding. That means this shows that we have started with the HTML coding. The next is the I tag that specifies the italic tags. So if I want to make any text as italic, that is specified I tag. Then the iframe tag that specifies an inline sub window, that is a frame, that is the iframe. Then the I layer that specifies an inline layer, that is the I layer. Then img tag that specifies an image. So if I want to specify an image, that is if I want to display an image, that is specified by the img tag, that is the img src equals to whatever the source that we are giving, that is displayed with the use of the src tag, and this is the tag that is used, that is the img tag. So img is the tag and src is the attribute that is used for the showing the or for displaying the image. Then the input tag that specifies an input field, that is the input tag. Then the ins that specifies the inserted text. So if I want to specify any inserted text that is available, that is displayed using the ins tag. Then next is the is index, that is we can say the tag that is used for the single line input values, that is the is index. Then the kbd, that is a keyboard text that specifies the keyboard text, that is what is the keyboard text and how it is used, that is the kbd. Then next is the keygen that generates the key information in a form. So if there is a key information that is available, that is displayed with the help of the key generation. Then next is the label that specifies a label for a form control. So if there is a label that is specified by the label control, that is a label tag. Next is a layer tag that specifies a layer. So if I want to display any layer, that is displayed using the layer tag. So if this is key important, that key generation, that is a key gen is one of the key information, is one of the new feature that is available in the HTML5. And this is a legend. So if I want to display any title in a text area, in a field set, so if I want to display any field area, that is displayed using the legend tag. Then next is the li tag. This is one of the important tag that is used in the listing, that is li, that specifies the list item. So if there is a dl, dt, ol, ul, and any tag that is used, that is li, that is used for the listing tag. So if I want to list 4 element, that is listed out by using the li tag. For example, computer, modem, device, phone, that is listed out by the li tag. Then next is the link tag that specifies a resource reference. So if there is a resource reference that is used, that is specified by the link tag. The next is the main tag that specifies the main or the important content in a document. So if I want to specify that what is the important content in the document that is used, that is specified by the main tag. So first of all, the main will be opened, then the content will be written out, then the main will be closed. That means whatever the content that is given within the main tag, that is the important tag that is used, that is the main tag. And this is also one of the new feature that is available in the HTML5. The next is a map tag that specifies the image map. The next is a mark tag that specifies the text highlighted for the reference purposes. So if there is any text that is highlighted, so if I want to highlight any text that is highlighted by the mark tag for the reference purposes, that is for its relevance in another content. So if I want to mark any content that is available, that is marked by the text highlighted, that is also one of the new feature that is used in the HTML5. The next is a marquee tag that creates a scrolling text marquee. So if there is a scrolling tag, or if there is a marquee tag that is used, that creates a scrolling tag. So if I want to create any marquee, that means the content will be moved from the right to the left. The next is the menu tag. So this specifies a menu list. So if I want to specify any menu, that is specified, that is done by the drop down menu, that is specified by the menu tag. The next is the menu item that specifies the command menu item that the user can invoke from a pop-up menu. That means these are the various menu items that is used with the HTML5. And this is the menu that is used with the older versions of the HTML, the same content or the same concept. This menu items is used with the new concepts of the HTML, that is the HTML5. The next is the meter tag that specifies a scalar measurement within a known range. So if I want to we can say the find out the measurement of a unit, that is measured by the meter tag. The next is a multi-column. So if I want to specify the multiple columns at the same time, that is the name, age, roll number of a student at the same time, that is displayed using the multi-col tag. The next is a nav tag, that is a navigation tag, so that contains only navigation link, that is a nav tag. The next is a no br tag, so there is no break that is allowed in the enclosed text, so that is a no br tag. Then no embed tag, so that specifies the content to be presented by the browser that do not support the embed tag. So if any tag is, or if any content is not supported by the embed tag, any browser, that then we have to use the no embed tag. The next is a no frame tag, that means that specifies the no frame section. That means there is no frame, only the one browser window is available that displays the each and every concept. The next is a no script that specifies a no script section. So if there is a no script that is used, that specifies the no script section. Then next is the object that specifies an embedded object. So if there is any object that is used, that is specified by the embedded object. Then next is the OL, and that specifies the ordered list. This is the same concept that we have studied in the ordered list and the unordered list, that is the OL. Then the OPT group, and in the, if I want to specify any group, that is an option group, so that is specified by the OPT group, that is the option group. The next is the option that specifies an option in the drop down list. So if I want to specify any option in the drop down list, that is specified by the option tag. Then the output tag. So if I want to display, if I want to specify the result of the calculation, and if I want to display the output, that is specified by the output tag. The next is the p tag. That is also a paragraph tag that specifies the paragraph, that what is the paragraph, how it is used, that is a paragraph tag. The next is the param, that is specify the parameter for an object, that is a param tag. And this output tag is one of the new feature that is available in the HTML5. And then next is the pre tag that we have studied, that whatever the content, the same formatting can be applied, or the same formatting can be available on the browser window with the help of the pre tag that specifies the free formatting text. Next is the progress tag that also specifies the completion progress of a task. So if the task is completed or not, that is specified by the progress tag. That is also one of the new feature of the HTML5. The next is the Q tag, that is a quotation or the short quotation that is used, that is also the new version of the HTML. Then RP, that is used to specify to show the browser that do not support the Ruby element. So if there is no Ruby element that is specified, that is supported by the RP. Then the RT, that specifies the text to be annotation. So if there is any text to be annotation that is used, that is specified by the RT tag. So one is the RP tag, one is the RT tag. Next is the Ruby tag that specifies the Ruby annotation. Then next is the S tag that is used for the strike through. So if I want to strike through any content, that is also done with the strike and also done with the S tag. If I want to display any sample code as a, we can say the computer code as a sample code, that is a sample HTML code for explanation, that is specified by the SAM tag, that is the SAMP. Next is the script tag that specifies the script, that what is the script, how it is used, and how to use that script, that is the script tag. The next is the section tag that specifies the section in a document. So if I want to specify any section in a document, that is specified by the section tag. Then next is the select, that is also the code. So if I want to select or specify any selectable list, that is specified by the select tag. Then next is the spacer that specifies the white space. So if there is a white space that is used, that is specified by the spacer tag. Then the small, that specifies a small text. Then source, this is one of the important elements. So this specifies a media resource for the media element. So if there is any media element that is used and that is specified by the media, or that is specified by the source tag, that is defined inside the video or the audio element. That means, for example, if I want to display the image, that is displayed using the SRC tag, SRC attribute, that is okay, that is the attribute that is used, that is the SRC attribute. But what if I want to specify any media resources, any media, that means animation, text that is used, that is specified by the SRC full the source code that specifies the media elements defined inside video or the audio elements. The next is the span tag that specifies the section in a document. So if I want to specify any document, any section in a document, that is specified by the span tag. The next is the strike, one of the category of the font tag, that is if I want to strike through any content, if I want to make the cut on the word, that is done by the strike text, or that is done by the strike tag. So that makes a, or that is used to cut the line, cut the word, that is the strike tag. The next is the strong tag that specifies the strong text. That means if I want to specify any strong tag, that is displayed using the strong tag. The next is the style tag that is also used for the style definition, that is a style definition. So that specifies the style definition, that is a style tag. Then sub, that means if I want to use the subscript text, that is displayed using the sub. So the same example that we have given, that H2O, the 2 will be applicable by the sub tag, that is a subscript tag. Then the summary, that specifies the summary, caption, or the legend for a given detail. This is a summary. So if I want to give the summary, caption or the legends for the detail, that is explained by the summary tag. And this is one of the new feature that is available in the HTML5. Then SUP, that is a superscript. So if I want to give the content in a par, that is a 2 par 2, that is the 2 is given as a sup, that means a superscript text. Then the table text. So if I want to display, if I want to give the table as a text, or if we want to give create the table, that is created by the table tag. Then the T body, that is the table body. So if I want to specify the table body, that is specified by the table body. That next is TD, and if I want to specify any TD that is used, that is displayed by using the TD, that is a table data, that is a cell. So this is used for creating a table cell. Next is the text area. So if I want to display any large text area, that is used for the address, that is used for the comment, that is displayed by the text area. So if I want to make the text, or if I want to make the area or the works very large, that is displayed by the text area. Then next is the T root, that specifies the table footer. That means if there is a table footer that is specified by the T foot. Then the TH, that is the table heading. Then there is a T head, that is the table header. Then there is a time, that specifies the date and the time details. So if I want to specify the date and the time, that is displayed using the time tag. And this is one of the new features that is available in the HTML5. This is the time tag. And next is the title, that is very important, that is used in each and every, we can say, the HTML code, that is a title. So if I want to specify the document title, what is displayed at the top of the window in the title bar, that is specified by using the title tag. So this is the title tag that is used. Next is the TR, for specifying the table row, that is a TR tag. Then next is the track tag, that specify the text tracks used in the media player. That is what is the text track that is used in the media player, that is a track tag. Then the TT, that specifies the teletype text, that is the TT text. Then the U, that specifies the underlined text. So if I want to specify any underlined text that is displayed or that is used or that is done by the U tag. So if I want to underline any content, that is the U tag that is used. Then the UL, that is the unordered list. So if I want to make the list in a bullet forms, that is displayed using the UL tag. The next is a variable tag, that is the VAR. So that specifies a variable. So if I want to display any variable, that is a var ps equals to 40, that is a variable that is explained or that is displayed using the var tag. The next is the video tag, that specifies the text tracks used in the media player, that is the same. Then the WBR, that is a potential word break point within a no BR section. So if there is a WBR code that is used, that is a potential word break point, that is a word break point within the no BR section. Then the XMP, that specifies the pre-formatted text. So if there is a pre-formatted text that is used, that is also displayed using the XMP tag. So these are the various code, that is the list of the various code that is used. Now next is the various attribute, that is the next chapter. So these are the various tags that you have studied in the chapter number 28. So now let's take a break for 10 minutes. Then after that move to the chapter number 29, that is the HTML attribute reference. So let's take a break right now. So the next chapter, we can say come back from the break. Now let's start with the next chapter, that is the chapter number 29. That is what are the various attributes that is used, that is the HTML attributes reference. So in the last chapter we have studied about the HTML tag reference, that is what are the various tags that is available within the HTML. Now next is HTML attribute reference, that is what are the various HTML that is available within the that is used with the different tags, that is HTML attribute reference. So there are many HTML attributes which are extended and associated to all the HTML tags. So there are multiple attributes that is used that are the standard and the associated to all the HTML tags, and these attributes are listed here with a brief description. So there are brief description of this HTML attribute that is used, that is known as the HTML attribute reference. So next, this is the first is the global attribute. That is, what are the various global attribute that is used? That means that is common to each and every HTML. That is the global attributes. So not valid in the base, head, HTML, meta, param, script, style, and the title elements. That is not valid. That is the these are the various attributes that is not valid in the base tag. That is not valid in the head tag. That is not valid in the HTML tag, meta tag, param tag, script tag, style tag, and the title element. These are not available, or these are not used with the global, or these attributes are not used with these tags. So first is the attribute, that is the access key. That description is specify the shortcut key for an element to be used in place of the keyword and keyboard. That means these are the access key that is used. If there is a shortcut key that is used, that is the access key attribute that is used, that is a shortcut key that is used in place of the keyboard. The next is the class, that the class of the elements. If I want to classify the class of the element, that is specified by the class attribute. Then the content editable, that is a content editable that is used, that the HTML5 version is a yes, that the boolean attribute to specify whether the element is editable or not, that is a content editable. Then next is the context menu, that is the HTML5 version is yes, that specifies the contextual menu for an element, that is the context menu. Then next is the data, that is yes, that is used to store the custom data associated with the element, that is the data tag or the data attribute that is used. Then the draggable, this is also the new concept of the HTML5, that the boolean attribute that is used to specify whether the element can be dragged or not. So the attribute that is used, that the element is dragged, that means it is a draggable element, and if it is not, it is not a draggable elements. Next is the drop zone. And the HTML version is supported by HTML5, yes, that specify whether the drag data is copied, moved, or linked when dropped. So if the drag data is dropped, that is specified that by the drop zone, that is in which zone it is dropped. Then the next attribute is the hidden, that is also available, or that is also the new concept of the HTML5, that specifies whether the element should be variable or visible or not. So if the element is not visible, that is not specified, that is the hidden data. So this specifies whether the element should be visible or not. Then the ID, that the unique ID for the element, that is the ID. We have already discussed about this one in the few examples of the HTML, that we are giving the ID for specifying the element, for uniquely specifying the element, that is the ID. The next is a spell check, that is a yes, that specify if the element must have its spelling or the grammar checked. So if there is any spelling and grammar check that is used, so that is a spell check. So this is a spell checker that is used, that is if the spelling and the grammar is correct or not. The next is the style, that is the inline style definition. So if there is an inline style definition that is used, that is a style tag that is available. Then the table index, so that specifies the table order of an element. So if there is a table order that is used, that is the table index that is specifies what is the table element, what is the order of an element. The next is the title tag, that is the text to display in a tool tip, that is the title, not tag, this is the title attribute, that is the text that is to be displayed in a tool tip, that is the title attribute. The next is the translate, this is HTML5 version is yes, this is the boolean attributes that specify whether the content of an element should be translated or not. That is whether the boolean attribute that is available is translated in the form of the energy, in the form of the boolean algebra or not, that is the translate. The next is the language attributes. So these are the global attribute, that is the global that is used, but these are not used in these element, these tags. Now next is the language attribute, that is what are the various language attribute that is used. So the lang attribute indicates the language that is used for the enclosed contents, and language is identifying using the ISO standard language. So there is the ISO standard language, that is the international or standard organization, that is the language abbreviation that is used, such as FR for French, EN for English, and so on. So these are the various languages that is used with the attribute, that is the French, English, and so on. Then RFC 19 or 17766 describe these codes and their formats. So there is a RFC that is used that describes the code, that is what are the various code that is used for the language attributes and what are their formats. And these again attributes are not valid in the base, BR, frame, frameset, H, HR, iframe, param and the script elements. These are not available, these are not valid in these of the attribute, that is these of the language attributes. Now let's see what are the various language attributes that is used. So one is the dir, and the value that is used is the ITR or the RTL. That is the left to the right and the right to the left. That sets the text direction. That is, it is going from the direction, that is the dir, that is from the left to the right, that is the LTR, or the right to the left, that is the RTL. The next attribute is the language, that is the lang, that is the language code, that sets the language code. So these are the various we can say the attribute list that is used, that is available with the chapter number 29. Now next is chapter number 30, that is the HTML event reference. That is what are the various event that is used within the HTML, that is the HTML event reference. So when the user visits your web page, so if any user, so let's start with the chapter number 30, that is what are the various event references, that is what are the various events that is available within the HTML. So this, there is an introduction that when the user visits your website, so if any user visits your website, they do things like click various links, bring mouse over the text and the images, etc. So if any user that is visited the website, they do the things like click on the websites, click on the links, bring down the mouse, text and etc. These are the examples of we call events in the JavaScript and the VB script terminology. So these are the various call event that is used, that is available with the JavaScript or the VB script technologies that is used. So when we write our event handler using the JavaScript or the VB script and can specify some action to be taken against these events, though these are the events, but they will be specified as an attribute for the HTML tags. So we are writing the events that is used, that is the event handler, and that is used with the JavaScript or the VB script that is used to specify some actions if the event occurs. So if the event occurs, that action will be fulfilled. If the event does not occur, that event does not be fulfilled. And these are the events that are that is specified as an attribute for the HTML tags. So HTML 4.10 or 4.01 specification has defined only 19 events, but later HTML has added much more event which is available over here, and following events had been introduced in the older versions, but all the tag marked with 5 are part of the HTML5. So these are the various event that is available with the HTML5 also. So first event is the on after print. That means this is the event that triggers after the element or document is printed. That means this gives the output, this brings down the event, this moves to the cursor, moves the cursor when the event or when the document is printed. That is the on after print. And then the next is on before print. This triggers before a document is printed. So one is after the printing, one is before the printing. So one is triggers after the document is printed, one is triggered after the document is or before the document is printed. Then on before on load, that triggers before a document loads. That is the on before on load. Then next is the on error, that triggers when the error occurs. So if there is any error occur that is available, that is error occurred, that is the on error function that is used, on error event that is used. That is the on error. Then next is the on has changed, that is the on has changed, that triggers when a document has changed. So if the document has changed, that is a trigger that is also available with this event. The on load, this is one of the important event that triggers when the document loads. That means on load event occurs when the document has been already been loaded. So this triggers when the document loads. That is the on load function, on load event. Then so sorry. Then the on message that triggers when that message is triggered. So that means if there is any message that is occurred, that then only the on message will be highlighted, on message will be available when the message is triggered. Then the on offline, and this trigger when the document goes offline. So if the document goes offline, that the which trigger will be happen, which trigger will activate, that is the on offline. On means that is activated. Load means when the document load. Message means when the message is loaded. Offline means when the document is offline. That means every content, every event has a on word, then the offline, online, everything that is available. That is, we can say the clear from its name, that is on, offline. If the document is offline, then the trigger is on. If the document is online, then the trigger is on. That is on online. That when the document comes online, then the on page hide that triggers when the window is hidden. So if the window is hidden, that is available, that is the on page hide. The next is the on page shows. So if there is any window that becomes visible, that is showed by using the on page show. Then on pop state, that means when the history changes, that is displayed by the event, that is on pop state. So when the history is changes or history changes, that is the trigger that is happened, that is an on pop state. That is a on redo, that triggers when the document performs a redo function, that is a on redo. Then the on resize, that triggers when the window is resized, that is a on resize. Then on storage, that triggers when the document loads. If the document load, that is triggered, that is the on storage is available. Then on undo, that triggers when the document performs an undo function. If the document performs an undo function, that is on undo will be used. Then the on unload, that is used, that triggers when the user leaves the document, that is the unload function, unload event that is used. Now these are the various we can say the window generated event that is generated with the windows, that is available with the dialog boxes. Now these are the form generated events that is available or that is used with the forms, that is how the form will be used. So one is the on blur, that triggers when the window loses focus. So if the window loses focus, then the blur event that will be used, that is the on blur event that is used, that triggers when the window loses the focus. Then the on change, so if the triggers when the document element change. So if any document that is changed, that is triggered by the, that is done by the on change event. So if any element change, that is changed from the one position to another, that is triggered by the on change function, on change event. Then the on context menu, that triggers when the context menu is triggers. And then on focus, that is how to focus on this one, that triggers when the window gets focus. So if there is any focus on the window, that is triggered by that is handled by the on event or on focus function. Then on for or on form exchange or on form change, that triggers when the form changes, that is the on form change. Then on form input, that triggers when the form gets user input. So as the name advice, it is available. On input, that triggers when the input gets user input. Then on invalid, that triggers when the input is or element is invalid. On reset, when the form is reset. On select, when the element is selected. On submit, when the form is submitted, that is the on submit. Now next is the keyboard generated event, that is what are the various keyboard generated event that is used with the HTML. Now first is the on key down. So this happened or this will occur when the if there is any keys that is down, so triggers when the key is pressed. Then on key press, when the key is pressed and released. So this is only press, that is like down. Then press means when the press and the release. Then on key up, that the when the released. So this is pressed means down, then up, then release. Press key press means when the press and the released. Now next is the mouse generated event, that is what are the various mouse generated events that is used within the HTML. So these are the various mouse generated events. So one is the on click. So this is triggers when the mouse is clicked. So if I click the single mouse, that is a mouse click that is triggered by the, or that is done by the on click function. Then the on db, or that is a double click, that is a dbl click. So on dbl click, that is when the mouse is double click, that is this event will be occurred, that is the event. Then the on drag, that triggers when the element is dragged. So if any element is dragged, that is triggered by the, that is done by the event, that is on drag. Then the on drag end, that is triggered at the end of the drag operation. So if the drag operation is finished, that is triggered, or that is a function, that is the event that is handled, that is the on drag end. Then on drag enter, that is triggers when the element has been dragged to a valid drop target, that is a on drag enter. The next is the on drag leave, that triggers when the element leaves a valid drop target. So if any valid drop target that is available, that is the on drag leave. Then the on drag over, one is a leave, one is a over, that triggers when an element is being dragged over a valid drop target. So if any drop target that is used, that is the on drag over. Then next is the on drag start, that triggers at the start of the drag operation. So if there is any drag operation, start operation that is done, that is started by the on drag start. Then the on drop, that triggers when the drop element is being dropped. So that means if the element is dropped, that is the on drop function will be applied. Then on mouse down, that triggers when the mouse button is pressed. So if any mouse button that is pressed, that is the on mouse down. Then the on mouse move, so if there is any on mouse that is moved, so triggers when the mouse pointer moves. So if any pointer moves, that is mouse pointer moves, that is on mouse move. Then on mouse out, so if there is any on mouse out that is used, to trigger when the mouse pointer moves out of the element. So if any cursor that is moves out of an element, that is triggered, that is done by the, or that is triggered by the element, that is on mouse out. Then on mouse over, that triggers when the mouse pointer moves over an element, that is on mouse over. Then on mouse up, that triggers when the mouse button is released. So if any mouse button that is released, that is done by the on mouse. Then on mouse wheel, that is when the mouse wheel is being rotated, that is the on mouse wheel. That is on scroll, that triggers when the elements scroll bar is being scrolled. So if any event that is scroll, any element that is scrolled, that is done by the on scroll. The next is the media generated event. So these are the media generated event that is generated with the help of the media devices. So these are the event that is introduced in the older version of the HTML, but all the tags are supported by the HTML5. These are the tags that is available with the oldest versions, but these are supported by the HTML5 also. So first is the on abort, that triggers on abort event. So if there is any abort event that is available, that is aborted by the handled by the event, that is on abort. Then on can play, that triggers when the media can start play but might have to stop for the buffering. So if there is any media that is stopped for the buffering, there is any internet connectivity that is lost, so that is on can display. That triggers when the media can start play but might have to stop for the buffering. The next is the on can play through, that means the media can be played to the end without stopping for the buffering. So if there is no stopping for the buffering, so anyone can play, so one can play through. That is the on duration change. So if any duration change that is used, that is done by the when the length of the media is changed. So if any length is changed, any media is changed, that is displayed by the change function. So when the length of the media is changed, that is the on duration change. Then on empty, that triggers when the media resource element suddenly becomes empty. So if any media element becomes empty, that is on emptied function, or that trigger. Then on ended, that triggers when the media has reached the end. So if the media has reached the end, so which trigger is used, that is on ended. As a name advice, on ended, so that means the event will be on when the end is occurred. Then on error, that the triggers when the error occurs. So if there is any error occur, that is one of the triggers that is used, one of the event that is handled, that is the on error. Then the on loaded data, that triggers when the media data is loaded. So if there is any media data that is loaded, that is the on media data. Then next is on ready state change. So this triggers when the ready state changes. So if then any ready state is changed to the suspended, or we can say the deleted stage, and if then any change that is in the state of the change, that is the on ready state change. Then on seek end, that means when the seeking attribute of a media is no longer true. Then on seeking, that is when the seeking attribute of a media element is true and the seeking has begun. Then on installed, if there is any error in the registering media file, that is on stalled. Then on suspend, that is when the browser is suspended for the times, that is stopped before the entire media was fetched. Then when the browser has been fetching media files or media data but stopped before the entire media was fetched. Then the on time update, that triggers when the media changes its playing position. So if there is any playing position that is available, that is the on time update. Then on volume exchange, so if there is any volume exchange that is available, that is displayed when the media change the volume, also when the media is set to the updates. The next is on waiting, so that when the media has stopped playing but is expected to be resumed, that is on the waiting stage, that is on waiting. Next is chapter number 31, that is HTML font references. So Larry, shall I continue this chapter in the today's class or in the tomorrow's class? Tell me, hurry up. Shall I continue within the today's class or in the tomorrow's class? Okay, Larry. So we will continue this chapter within the tomorrow's class. So that's all for today's session. Thank you so much everyone for listening me. And if there is any doubt, any suggestions, you can ask the doubts from me. Thanks a lot everyone. Bye bye.